All right, everybody, welcome back to Daybreak. We have a big announcement. It's a girl. Stewie's like, no, I'm not. We're not talking about Stewie. We're talking about a female giraffe calf born at the Indianapolis Zoo. This is always a cause for celebration. Patty's here, of course, and Judy's here from the zoo. Ladies, thanks for coming in.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Isn't this a wonderful thing? Yeah, I love it. When I was a kid, I remember my mom and dad pulling me in a little red flyer wagon. Even back then, I didn't like to exercise. So, and we'd look at all the animals in the zoo and learn things, and my love for animals continued on today, and I love to go to the zoo. Judy's going to tell us about, this is a reticulated giraffe.
Yes, and we love hearing stories like that, because when you get kids to the zoo early, then they have a love of animals, and they want to help them, you know? Well, we had a new arrival, and it's the first girl in 12 births.
Oh my goodness.
The keepers were like, we got a girl.
She's rolling the dice wrong on that.
So there she is, McKenna.
Oh, McKenna.
Yeah. And
what does reticulated mean?
Reticulated is the pattern.
Okay.
And they're all different kinds of species of giraffe. And one of the reasons why McKenna is important is that she's an ambassador for her species in the wild. So people will come, they'll get up close to her, and you wouldn't normally get to do that unless you go on a safari. So you kind of fall in love, you get engaged, and then we enlighten people on what giraffes face in the wild. And we know that over the last 3 decades that populations have declined terribly.
From about a threatened species then?
Well, they have been moved to vulnerable, and reticulated are endangered. So there's only about 8,000 of her kind in the wild. So she really is an important part of spreading the word. We also have some things at the zoo that you can do. Last year, we had a roundup in the gift store. So your change went to the Giraffe Conservation Foundation. And so we sent $20,000 to them last year because people just rounded up their change. And that buys a lot.
Well, and giraffes are beautiful, especially any baby animal. But giraffes are fascinating because they're so big when they're born. And if I'm right, when they're born, they've got to drop 5 or 6. Right? That's kind of a rough welcome.
But they get right up.
But then, they stand. And I mean,
she's already over 6 feet.
I was gonna say, was she able to? I mean, was she able to adjust quickly? And
she did. I know our vets went in and checked her, and she was walking around following them. She was really personable.
And when did I bounce? Yes, I did. When I'm a kid again. When can we go and see her? I know they're trying to keep her.
Well, she will be out in the spring, and it's you have to be really careful with hoof stock that when they go out that it's not wet. So once it gets dry, we'll get her out and everyone can meet her. We also have another female that just came to a 1-year-old named Kita. She came from the Fort Wayne Zoo, so we'll get to meet her too and feed them, and it's pretty neat.
And you said McKenna is a Swahili name as well.
Yes, it means abundance.
African heritage. I love it. I
Isn't
love
that great? And this is an accredited zoo too, right?
Yes, we are the largest zoo that does not receive any tax support. So everything we do is because of our sponsors and also our community. So we're lucky to be in Indiana.
Folks love the zoo and they love to celebrate. You host events throughout the year for folks to get to be a part of this. One of them's coming up, isn't it?
We are starting the very first biggest event we've had launched in about 10 years. And it's, if anyone, do you have cabin fever?
I mean, I can't go
a little bit,
today,
right? Especially today. Well, this is a 3-week spring festival called Exuberance. We find all words that we can fit zoo in.
I know,
Exuberance starts.
I love it.
It starts March 21st, and it's 3 weeks of multiple stages of culture, dance, art, crafts, craft beers. So there's crafts for adults and for kids, and you'll see all the wonderful animals. They're beautiful flowers. It's going to be so bright and whimsical. We have a cheer garden, and it's going to go over 3 weeks, Thursdays through Sundays. And it's going to be real exciting. We also have a headlining concert on March 30th, with a national band, His Golden Messenger.
That's true.
So and it's all included with admission. All these things, you don't have to pay extra for the concerts.
If the zoo wasn't fun enough.
I know.
That's great.
And we'll be seeing more of Judy in the zoo on Pet Pals TV
right.
and Wish TV this year. So I'm so excited. We got some wonderful things coming up. We won't give everything away.
They have to watch.
Oh, I don't know though.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Pet Pals TV, we're talking about the greyhounds and why they need to be rehomed, and it's kind of a big crisis coming up. Also on then at 10:30, Great Day TV, and we're going to talk about Fighting with My Family. I talked to some of the stars in New York. We'll have that. Little Mermaid is celebrating 30 years. I talked to some of the animators, and also I went behind the scenes and I did some voiceover work in the studio. That's not as easy.
wow.
She do everything.
Oh my
She
gosh.
covers everything.
Do you sleep?
Just keep moving. Keep
Right?
moving.
There we go. Well, thank you again for coming in, Judy Potter.
Thank
Always fun to
you.
have you. Stewie, you did a great job. You did
As
awesome.
always.
Sitting here like, this is my favorite part of the day, right? Being on TV. Awesome. Marcus was grinning too over there at the Weather Center when he heard about the